Hello students, welcome to the course on analog and digital communication systems, and the course code is EC501. This is the course for BTech 5th semester EC students. Myself, Dr. Shurojit Bosak, Assistant Professor of EC Department, Guru Nanak Institute of Technology, Kolkata. This is my official email address. In the last few classes of this module, we have completed amplitude shift keying, coherent binary phase shift keying or BPSK. Then we have completed quadrature phase shift keying or QPSK. It is also a coherent type of digital modulation techniques, and discuss the advantages of using QPSK compared to the BPSK systems. Then we move for MREPSK. Today we will discuss about another type of modulation techniques which is called differential phase shift keying or DPSK. So let us start lecture number 5 from the module 5, that is digital modulation techniques, with the topic of differential phase shift keying or DPSK. The lesson objectives of these topics are: study various digital modulation techniques that can compute the bit error performance and compare their advantages and limitations. And the second lesson objective is study signal vector representation of various digitally modulated signals by creating signal constellations. And this topic is mapped with CO number 2 and CO number 5. So let us start lecture number 5 from the 5th module, that is the last module in your syllabus, that is digital modulation techniques, with the topic of differential phase shift keying, or rather it is called DPSK. So first you should know why another type of phase shift keying is required. First of all, I must say that those BPSK and QPSK that are already covered, they are the coherent type of digital modulation techniques. And DPSK is a non-coherent version of PSK. So remember that it is a non-coherent version of PSK. DPSK that means DPSK does not need a synchronous or coherent carrier at the demodulator. The input sequence of binary bits is modified such that the next bit depends upon the previous bit. Therefore, in the receiver, the previous received bit are used to detect the present bit. And this is the generation techniques or block diagram for the generation of DPSK signal. Here we use basically a XOR gate. It's very important. All of we know the logic diagram or logic label of XOR gate. And from here, it is a 2-input XOR gate. One input is DT, that is the binary energy data, unipolar energy data. And other input is basically the output of the XOR gate, which is delayed by 1 bit interval. So remember that other input is basically the output of the XOR gate, which is delayed by 1 bit interval. So here a feedback signal is connected. And after that, it goes to the balance modulator. And in the balance modulator, a carrier signal is added. And after that, we generate a BPSK signal, which is basically, if it is BT, then output of DPSK signal is BT into root 2 PS cos omega 0 T. And BT is basically plus minus 1. Either it is plus 1 or minus 1. Now see the main thing here, the XOR gate. What is the response of BT? Just see BT basically DT, which is XOR with BT minus TB. Now what are the combinations of DT and BT minus TB? See, the truth table of the, basically it is a truth table of the XOR gate. First part is the DT, which is divided by logic level and voltage. Second is the BT minus TB. Again, it is divided by logic level and voltage. And the last is the BT, which is logic level and voltage level. So 4 combinations are already present. Possible 4 combinations, that is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1. If in case of DT, the logic level is 0, the voltage is minus 1. So again, 0 means minus 1 voltage and 1 means plus 1 voltage. So 0 is minus 1 voltage and 1 is plus 1 voltage. So we know that on the output we'll get the 1 when DT and BT minus TB, those are invert. That is, one is 0 and other is 1. So in these 2 cases, that is 0, 1 and 1, 0. In these 2 cases, we get the output high. And other case, that is 0, 0 and 1, 1, we get the output is low, that is 0. And correspondingly, the voltage level is, for the case of 0, it is minus 1, and for the case of 1, it is plus 1. Now, see the response of BT logic waveform to illustrate the response BT. So this is the logic waveform. See how it can be drawn. See, this is the interval, say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 14 interval. And DT is basically the input. It is a combination of 0 and 1. This is in your hand. You can take any combination. So suppose that it is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, then 4 times 1 and then 0. So this is dt. And see, dt exclusive OR with bt minus tb. So what is the first bit interval of bt minus tb? It is basically this bit comes to here. So we assume that the first bit, that is the 0th interval bit of bt is 0. It does not depend on, it does not take any problem if you choose the first bit, that is 0th interval bit is 1. Whatever be the 0th interval bit of bt, but the logic, what we want to develop, this would be unique. The logic will not change, whether it doesn't depend on the 0th interval bit of bt, whether you can choose 0 or 1, whatever. So this 0 comes here, so 0, 0, again 0 come here, so this 0 come here, 0, 0, 0. Now this 0 come here, then 0, 1, see, it is 1. Then this 1 come in the 4th bit interval of bt minus tb. Then 0, 1, again 1 is generated at the 4th interval of bt. Then this 1 goes to the 5th bit interval of bt minus tb, and correspondingly we generate 0, 1, 1. So in that logic, the waveform is developed. Clear? Similarly, this 5th bit interval 0, 1, it is 1, bt is 1. Then this bt comes to the 6th bit interval of bt minus tb. Then 1 and 1, so bt is 0. Then this 0 comes to the 7th bit interval of bt minus tb, and accordingly XOR get 1, 0, 1. So this 7th bit interval of bt, that is this 1, again goes to 8 bit interval of bt minus tb. So 0, 1, again 1. Then this 1 again goes to the 9th bit interval of bt minus tb. Then in 9th bit interval, dt is 0, bt minus tb 1. So bt is 1. Then this 1 from the 9th bit interval of bt comes to the 10th bit interval of bt minus tb. Then 1, 1, again 0. So in that way, the logic response or response of bt is developed. Now we observe few things. We now observe that the response of bt to dt is that bt changes label at the beginning of each bit interval when dt equal to 1. Again I am repeating, see, bt changes its label at the beginning of each bit interval whenever dt is 1. See, in the third bit interval, dt is 1, then bt changes its level from 0 to 1. See here. See again in the sixth and seventh bit interval, where dt are 1. So accordingly, in the sixth and seventh bit interval, bt changes its level from 0 to 1 or 1 to from 1 to 0 and from 0 to 1. Similarly, 10th and 11th, 12th, 13. Here all dt are 1. See, in that bit interval, the bt also changes its label at the starting of that bit interval. See, from 1 to 0, 0 to 1, then again 1 to 0, then 0 to 1. So every time whenever dt is 1, bt changes its label at the beginning of each bit interval, and bt does not change its label when dt is 0. See, whenever dt is 0, bt doesn't change its level. See, in the 4 and 5 interval, dt is 0, then bt does not change its level. Similarly, see, in the 8 and 9 interval, where dt is 0, so bt are not changed. So from the logic waveform, what is the logic? We note that when dt is 0, bt is same as bt minus tb. That means whatever the initial value of bt minus tb, it reproduces itself. On the other hand, when dt equal to 1, bt equal to bt minus tb bar, that means it is a inverted. That means in each successive bit interval, bt changes from its value in the previous interval. Just if whenever dt is 1, see, in the third bit interval, whenever dt is 1, bt and bt minus tb just opposite. Bt minus tb is 0 and bt is 1. In the sixth and seventh bit interval, bt minus tb are 1 and 0. Similarly, bt is 0 and 1, just inverted. But whenever dt is 0, see the first and second interval, bt is same as bt minus tb, both are 0. And see, 8 and 9 interval, where dt is 0, then bt and bt minus tb both are 1. So whenever dt is 0, bt is same as bt minus tb. This is the main logic of this response. That means either both are 0 or both are 1. But whenever dt is 1, then bt and bt minus tb, they are opposite. Now in that case, we have assumed that b0 in the first interval, b0 is 0. If we had assumed b0 equal to 1, the invariant feature of which we have characterized the system would continue to apply. That means these assumptions are valid if we assume bt equal to 1 in the 0th bit interval. Therefore, what is the modulator output? The output is already I defined also. It is just a balanced modulator After the XOR gate, we get the BT and then it passes to the balance modulator. So BT where actually route to carrier signal is applied. So DPSK signal, DPSK modulated waveform is represented by V DPSKT, which is equal to BT root 2 PS cos omega 0 t. So we know that BT has two label, either it is +1 or -1. So it is plus minus root 2 PS cos omega 0 t. Now what is the modulated waveform? Can you imagine what is the modulated waveform? How can you draw a DPSK modulated waveform? Already you know about BPSK is the simplest waveform, and you also now understand about QPSK. Now for the case of DPSK, how the modulated waveform or how a phase difference, what is the logic of the phase difference? Thus altogether when dt equal to 0, the phase of the carrier does not change at the beginning of the bit interval. See the waveform, phase of the carrier whenever dt is 0, bt is same as bt minus tb. So the phase of the carrier does not change at the beginning of the bit interval whenever dt is 0. But the question is when dt is 1, bt and bt minus tb are just opposite, or whenever dt is 1, the output bt has changed its phase at the beginning of that bit interval by an amount of 180 degree. So when dt is 1, there is a phase change of magnitude pi. So now how we can draw a time domain waveform? See, this is the, or how it can differ from BPSK. See, say this is the time domain binary sequence, binary input data dt, which is 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0. Now the logic is whenever dt equal to 1, there will be a phase shift. So first 1 comes here, there is a phase shift of 180 degree. Then 1 to 1, again 1 comes, then again there is a phase shift of 1. Then 1 to 0, there is no phase shift. In case of BPSK, whenever 0 to 1, in case of BPSK, whenever 0 to 1 or 1 to 0 arises, then in that transition, there was a phase shift of 180 degree. But here, in case of DPSK, when just only 1 comes, it may be 0 to 1, it may be 1 to 1. Just whenever there is a 1 present in the DT sequence or data sequence, then in the modulated waveform, there is a phase shift of 180 degree at the start of that bit interval. So see here, for the case of first one, in the third bit interval, there is a phase shift of 180 degree. Then again, 1 to 1, in case of BPSK, there was no phase shift for 1 to 1. But here there is a phase shift of 180 degree. Every time when you get 1, then at the start of that bit interval, there is a phase shift of 180 degree. See here also 180 degree phase shift. See here also 180 degree phase shift. So every time when you get 1, there is a phase shift at the start of that bit interval. So in that way, it can generate a DPSK modulated waveform. Clear? The difference between BPSK and DPSK in terms of modulated waveform. Okay. Now move for the detection part. Detection of DPSK signal. As you know that it is a non-coherent version of PSK. That means the receiver does not need a synchronous carrier for demodulation purpose. So just in the long distance, there may be a chance of phase shift. So that is why we have assumed here BT incoming signal as BT root 2 PS cos omega 0 T plus theta. It goes to a multiplier. And in the multiplier, the input signal is delayed by 1 bit interval, which is BT minus TB root 2 PS cos omega 0 T minus TB plus theta. These two signals are multiplied, and after multiplication, the signal goes to the integrated circuit and bridge synchronizer. Now the first question is, what would be the output of the multiplier? So the output of the multiplier is BT minus TB multiplied by 2 PS cos omega 0 T plus theta into cos omega 0 T minus TB plus theta. Just these two signals are multiplied and we get 2 cos A cos B, just simple trigonometric. So BT into BT minus TB into PS and 2 cos A cos B, cos A plus B, this term, and cos A minus B. So it is BT minus TB PS into cos omega 0 TB plus cos 2 omega 0 into T minus TB by 2 plus 2 theta, and is applied to a bit synchronizer and integrator, which is basically same as BPSK demodulator. Now the output of the integrator suppress the double frequency term, this term 2 theta term or 2 omega 0 term, suppress this term, second term, which is suppressed by the integrator circuit, and we should select omega 0, see here, output of the integrator suppress the double frequency term. Okay, now we should select omega 0 TB equal to 2n pi with n an integer. For this case, we shall have cos omega 0 TB equal to +1 and the signal output, so that the signal output as large as possible, because cos theta, maximum value of cos theta is 1. So how you can determine the dt? So this part is 1 and this part is rejected, and PS is the constant term. So how to determine dt? We can determine, we can estimate about dt by the product of bt into bt minus tb. How? From the logic, see, in the earlier logic case, if dt equal to 0, bt is same as bt minus tb, and if dt equal to 1, bt is and bt minus tb are just inverted. So using that logic, we can determine dt about the from the product of bt into bt minus tb. How? Now if dt equal to 0, that means bt is same as bt minus tb. There is no phase change. Either both are +1 volt or both are -1 volt. Therefore, the product bt into bt minus tb equal to 1. Their product should be 1. If, however, dt equal to 1, then there was a phase change. That means if bt equal to 1 volt, then bt minus tb equal to -1 volt, or even vice versa. If bt equal to -1 volt, then bt in bt minus tb equal to +1 volt. So the product is always -1. So in that way, you can estimate about dt. You can easily determine whether the transmitted bit or input binary bit dt is 0 or 1. So this is all about your detection technique or non-coherent detection technique of DPSK signal. Now, the question is advantages and disadvantages, if some disadvantage exists, of DPSK signal over BPSK. So first tell me, what are the advantages of DPSK over coherent BPSK? It is very much easy. That is why I am not showing this part in the slide. You know that it is a non-coherent PSK. So DPSK does not need carrier at the receiver end. This means that complicated circuitry for generation of local carrier is not required. So this is the main advantage, all of you know. Now the main thing is there any disadvantage? of DPSK over BPSK. See, just I am showing here just 0 in terms of 0 and 1, not showing any waveform. All of you knows. So say dt is 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. Similarly, bt minus tb is say 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1. And in that case, bt is, if it is first bit is 0, then it is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 again 0, then 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So you know the logic of developing bt. Now consider that during some bit interval, the received signal is so contaminated by noise that in a PSK system, an error will be made in the determination of whether the transmitted bit was 1 or 0. Suppose that this bit is contaminated with noise so that the output would change, now becomes 1. So 1 bit is contaminated with noise during the transmission. So suppose 1 bit is contaminated with noise, that this bit and that change from 0 to 1. Similarly, then if it is 1, then what would be the detection technique? What is the receiver estimation? Then 1 and 0. So these are different, and their product bt into bt minus tb according to the previous logic, and their product is -1. So receiver takes decision in favor of symbol 1. So here similarly receiver take decision in favor of symbol 1. Now this one goes to the next bit interval of bt minus tb because it is delayed by 1 bit interval. So this bit goes to here. Now again their product bt into bt minus tb, their product, so it is bt minus tb now becomes 1 instead of 0. So their product plus 1. So plus 1 product means dt is 0, dt should be 0. So now dt should be 0. So 1 bit errors due to noise causes 2 successive bit errors. And after that all are same, no error. So in DPSK, a bit determination is made on the signal received in 2 successive bit intervals. Hence, noise in 1 bit interval may cause errors to 2 bit determination. Therefore, the error rate in DPSK is therefore greater than in PSK, and there is a tendency for bit errors to occur in pairs. Pair form a bit error. So this is very important, and this disadvantage is very important, and many times the question comes like that, show that 1 bit error in DPSK causes 2 successive bit error determination. Okay. So this is all about differential phase shift keying. Now, due to have some little bit time, I just want to give you a problem of BPSK. An interesting problem want to discuss about BPSK. Let the problem is like that. Consider a phase locked loop consisting of a multiplier, loop filter, and voltage controlled oscillator. Let the signal applied to the multiplier input be a PSK signal, which is defined by ST equal to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus KP into MT, where KP basically the phase sensitivity and the data signal MT takes on the value +1 for binary symbol 1 and -1 for binary symbol 0. So this is the multiplier input, which is a PSK signal ST. And the output, VCO output is RT equal to AC sine 2 pi FCT plus theta t. Now evaluate the loop filter output, assuming that this filter removes only modulated components with carrier frequency 2fc. Clear? Now come to the solution. See, the noiseless PSK signal is given by ST equal to AC cos 2 pi FCT plus KP into MT. Just simple trigonometric cos A plus B, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Since we know that MT is basically plus minus 1, so +1 for binary symbol 0 and -1 for binary symbol 0. +1 for binary symbol 1 and -1 for binary symbol 0. So MT basically a polar energetic signal. So in that case, cos KP into MT equal to cos plus minus KP. So which is basically cos theta. Cos of minus theta means cos theta. And sine of minus theta means minus sine theta. So it is comes here plus minus sine KP. So which is basically MT sine KP. Therefore, after putting the value of MT, now ST, this ST can be rewritten as AC cos KP here cos 2 pi FCT minus AC into sin KP MT. So this is MT sin KP into sin 2 pi FCT. This term. Now we know that the VCO output is RT equal to AV sin 2 pi FCT plus theta. We know that this was present in the problem. Now what is the loop filter output? It is simply just multiplier output, just simply multiplication RT into ST. Now this 2 is multiplied and after multiplication we get the corresponding result is half AC into AV cos KP sin theta t plus sine 4 pi fc t plus theta t minus half AC. This two terms is for the first term, and minus half AC into AV mt sine kp cos theta t plus cos 4 pi fct plus theta t. Now first the loop filter output removes the double frequency term and produces the output half AC into AV cos kp into sine theta t. First term, this term is rejected and this term is present here, minus half AC into AV mt sine kp cos theta t, and again last term is rejected by the loop filter. So this is the output of the loop filter. Now for a special case, if kp is pi by 2, that means the carrier is fully deviated. There would be no carrier component for the PLL to track. So the loop filter output is like that, which is ET, this expression. Okay. So this type of problems comes in your GATE examination. So this is all about differential phase shift keying. Okay. So let us stop here. Thank you. Thank you so much.